Hey there. So I want to talk really quickly. I want to talk really quickly before I take off here. I see that I haven't looked at the news on Shannon Sharp, but I have seen thumbnails of how Shannon Sharp has retired the OnlyFans IG model. You have some brown woman that's going in on Shannon Sharp because he retired this saucy, spicy Latina. And I'm not finding it funny. I'm finding it funny not because Shannon Sharp paid this woman. Listen, I'm gonna say what I'm going. Something in me tells me that's not even a woman. I look at this picture of this Zaninga person, and she looks like a boy. Her face looks like a boy. It looked like It looked like this boy must be a transgender and have a BBL. That's what it's given to me. This don't look like no lady. But that's beside the point. I digress. Okay, I digress. The point of the matter is a lot of brown women believe it's a lady. It's a woman. So a lot of people I guess brown women are up in arms because Shannon Sharp paid this Latina Mr. Zuniga money. However much money he paid her, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how much money he paid her. Hold on a second. I'm not sure how much money he paid her because I didn't look it up and see, and I didn't click on the videos I didn't click on any videos to see any commentary about it. But I just happened to see this thumbnail just now about how Shannon Sharp retired the OnlyFans model Zuniga. And I want to say this. I was laughing earlier because I'm just laughing at some brown women as a collective, at some of their outrage. I am laughing at them, at some of their outrage. Because they absolutely refuse, and I'm talking about some of them, some brown women, a lot. I'm not going to say some, a lot. Because it's gotten to the point where brown women are seen as just being too easy, that she don't have to do nothing for her. And that's because it's a whole lot that do it. So you have a lot of brown women that don't have conditions for brown men. They will support a brown man no matter what. Brown women cheered that OJ got off. Brown women cheered that OJ was found not guilty for the murder of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. Brown women cheered. Now, the brown community cheered all together, but I'm not surprised with the men. They don't surprise me. I'm talking about the women. They cheered that because they felt like OJ got off. Okay? Callaway. And what else? And I was just, the people that I speak to, I'm just trying to understand, because OJ didn't like brown women. He didn't date brown women. He didn't like brown women. This is what I'm talking about. Brown women just do not have conditions. Brown women do not have conditions at all when it comes to supporting a brown man. They do not have conditions. They did not have conditions when it came to supporting Shannon Sharp. They do not have conditions. This Zuniga person had conditions. What was it, $25,000 per butt cheek or something? I don't know, to smack her, but I can't remember. But either way, she didn't come cheap. She did not come cheap. And now, supposedly, according to, I guess, the reports, she has gotten enough from Shannon Sharp to retire from OnlyFans. To retire from OnlyFans. She has gotten enough to retire. Okay? And some women are mad, and I'm laughing at the fact that they are upset because why do you insist on never setting standards? Listen. If you have a mental illness, if you struggle with depression, there's nothing wrong with these things. If you do, if you struggle with depression, if you struggle with the lack of self-esteem, just take the time to get the help that you need. And it's not to be funny about it, because I understand how that could be. I understand how that can be. But at the same time, when you realize this is a problem, don't go on and just let it just continue to be a thing about it. Never. And then expect different results, right? Just constantly expect different results. That's what's not making sense right there. I've seen women online talking about. I've heard of women talk about how women don't care about them, but she's going on talking about, I love brown men. I don't care if they were such and such and such. I don't care if they were down and out. I don't care if they were down in their dumps. I don't care if we was homeless. I don't care. I love brown men, and they can't recognize that I love them. This is why they pay the Zunigas and they don't give you anything. Because the Zunigas, the Karens, and the Ashleys, and whoever, they are not going to be talking like that. They're not going to be worshiping men, like men in general. They're not going to be worshiping them like that. They're going to use it for what they get. They're not going to do all that stuff. And they're going to get it out. I think it's a male. But anyway, for a young man, 19, 20 years, that he has conditions for her. And even when she meets those conditions, it's still sometimes never good enough, okay? But conditions is still sometimes never good enough, okay? But she just has unconditional love that they've seen over the decades, and nothing's come out of it. Male, in my opinion, got something out of Shannon Sharp. If they got anything at all, I don't trust media as far as I don't trust media as far as I can throw them. My thing stopped. I hope you heard some of what I said. It's time for me to drive off. My thing just stopped. I hope it didn't stay off for too long. But I was just saying that no, I'm not gonna be able to get on this page. I was just saying that you have a lot of brown women that are upset. And it's for me, it's fine if you struggle with some mental health things, some problems with self-esteem, some problems with self-worth. You know, it's not to blame a person for struggling with those things. But at some points you do become the blame when you're at a point where you can do something about it. At that point you are to blame, okay? Yeah, that's all I want to say. You know, just learn to have self-worth, learn to have value. Some people have to actually learn it. Some people have always had it, never had to work on getting it because it's never been a problem with it for them. And some people just have to work on getting self-worth. Some people have to work on self-esteem, and it's not wrong with that. And I feel like that's something a lot of brown women need, because they have been things have happened to cause individually certain people to feel a certain way about themselves. But at the same time, it's not good to stay there. Let me see if this is working now. And with that being said, I'm going to segue into this next topic. It is time to stop letting people get away with just anything. It is time to stop looking the other way. This is off the topic of Shannon Sharpe. This is off the topic of Shannon Sharpe. If It's time to stop turning the other cheek. And what I mean by turning the other cheek, I don't mean to be violent. I'm talking about when you constantly see, even when you're done wrong, and sometimes you don't want anything to be a mess, so you don't want to do anything about it. And I definitely get that, because court can be messy. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's draining. It drains your pockets. And sometimes, depending on the amount of power and support that another person has, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong if this other person have more support on their side. This world is not really about being fair. It's about how much you have, how much support and power that you have. Because if this world was about being fair, there's a lot of people that would not be in power right now if this world was about being fair. So this world is not about being fair. So I see why there are some people who just decide not to let things go, and not to, because it's not worth it. It's not worth them being drained. It's not worth them in the long run having to deal with the consequences because they chose to stick up for themselves. But because they chose to stick up for themselves, they're going to have to deal with the consequences, because the person or the company that they came after might have alliances or other friends in other places, where now your name is ruined. Your reputation is ruined when you didn't do anything wrong, right? And so that becomes a problem when you try to stand up for doing what's right. And so a lot of people choose to go on and just turn and look the other way, as long as they get to still have a decent life, right? And I definitely understand that. I have done that quite a bit of times. But to be honest with you, some of us have had a right. Some of us have had a right to look the other way, because some of us were not in a position to go against a beast like some of these people. Some of these people are a beast. And some of us were not in a position to go against the beast like that. As much as we know they were wrong, we were not in a position to go against the beast. Okay? And so some people had a right to just like go the other way, turn the other cheek. But it gets to, that doesn't mean to overlook it, because you never know what might come your way. So, even when it comes to trafficking, when it comes to the crimes, even when it comes to a lot of things, it's to the point where, even though it's a lot that cannot be done in court, to me, I just feel like nothing can be done with trafficking, because there's a lot of politicians, supposedly, there's a lot of politicians, there's a lot of powerful people that's involved, allegedly, in trafficking. And so that's why it seems like there's never any justice when it comes to human or children trafficking. It seems like there's never any justice because of the type of people that's involved. A lot of people that's involved are people that's running the world. Okay, A-list celebrities. Those are some of the people that tend to be involved. Okay, and so it seems like there's never going to be any justice with that. And with that being said, I'm gonna tell you something. It's going to be hard to go to any kind of court with this kind of system in place. So I'm just going to make it clear: this is a spiritual battle. This is a spiritual battle. That's a spiritual battle. Okay, you can't always take people to court, because they are ruined. Sometimes your life will be ruined afterwards. Sometimes you can win and you might not ever see your money. You can sue somebody and you might not ever see your money. So after you don't pay for your lawyers and you won your court case, you might not ever see your money, and then you're gonna have to fight with them to get your money. Case in point, I want to talk about Cardi B versus Tasha K. Yeah, Cardi B won in court Yeah, Cardi B had Tasha K looking like she had egg on her face. At the end of the day, Tasha K was able to negotiate where she didn't have to pay that amount, and they were able to settle on something else. Now, Cardi B is able to get something. I don't know if she's going to be able to get all the money that she paid for her lawyers. Okay, whatever amount that she settled with Tasha K, I don't even know if that covers Cardi B's lawyers. See what I'm saying? So even if you win in a court case, sometimes you still might not get anything. That's what I'm saying. This is a spiritual battle, and at the end of the day, sometimes I'd rather clear this stuff up spiritually. I'd rather clear it up spiritually because I mean, this is just me, my opinion. Whatever money was lost, and I have lost money because of people, and I'm talking about family and stuff like that. I have lost money. I know I'm supposed to be talking. Okay, I can just turn on coffee. That's okay. I've lost money, but at the end of the day, I can get money. But the thing is I'm ready for this energy to be moved out the way. This type of energy needs to go. This type of vibration needs to go. So me, at this point, winning court cases was not going to be enough because lots of people have won court cases, and you still have, evil getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So I'm going to tell you something. I'd rather, instead of winning a court case, I'd rather see this type of energy just removed altogether. This type of realm to be completely thrown out altogether. Where this type of stuff never exists again. I'd rather... Did I pass my Brim Hall? I sure did. Never mind. I went too far. I think I did. I'd rather just see this type of energy just completely removed. Okay? Canceled out. And then that'll be enough. That'll be all of the compensation that I need, right? We talk about reparations for me, and I'm not talking about for the brown community. I'm not talking about for them. I'm talking about for me, just in general. Reparations, to be honest with you, reparations would be to see this type of behavior never happen again, ever, not even amongst anybody else, and to live in a completely different world. That is reparations for me. And I get that you have to vibrate on a certain level to get there, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard to do that because this is a spiritual warfare. It's hard to. When I say, you got to vibrate, I don't say that to make it sound easy. It's very hard to do. It's very, very hard to do. Okay? So I don't say that to make it sound like it's something easy. It's hard to do because there is a spiritual warfare. There is a spiritual warfare. Every time you look around, somebody is doing something is happening. There's spiritual warfare, and then you have, like I say, even if it's not spiritual work, you have people that just do practical stuff. Like like they don't have to do anything spiritually towards you. It's just them making phone calls or paying somebody, or because they have the money and because they have the backup, they have the manpower to go against you, to make you seem like you're crazy when they the ones that did wrong. But we don't live, this is not a fair world. This is not the type of world where the Most High is reigning. Now the Most High can reign, but the Most High has to be inside the people. I don't know if people can get that. Most High needs to be inside the people. Okay? Because people just want to wait and wait and wait, and that's not how that works. The Most High needs to be inside of you, and you need to activate the Most High. The Most High just ain't gonna come out of nowhere. You have to activate the Most High. Like, you have to do that work on yourself. Okay? Because there's a whole lot of waiting. It's been hundreds of years of all this waiting and waiting and waiting for somebody to come back, and that's just not how that works. That's not how that works. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm right. Anyway, that is all I think I have to talk about right now. But yeah, it does seem to be pretty hard to raise that vibration. But I'm also going to say I think it could be hard in the United States of America. I think the United States of America makes it even harder. And sometimes you got to find time to get away to see the difference. But it's a lot of ill entities that look like people that's around and trying to get on the high vibration. They're actually going against you. When you're trying to work hard, they are going against you. And this is what I want to say here, where maybe it's not the best idea to turn the other cheek at this point, because you try to mind your own business and just do it, and it's not enough to mind your own business. Even if you're not a person that anybody knows, somewhere it could be at your job or somewhere where people just want to start trouble for you when you haven't done nothing to them. And it's getting to a point where it's not going to be enough to mind your own business. And it's hard to take people to court. It's hard to go to the supervisor or the bosses or whoever. But do I think I need to turn right. Yeah, I need to turn right. Um, but yeah, it's not enough to mind your own business, because when you mind your own business, sometimes trouble still might want to find you. It's going to want to find you some kind of way, because it seems like these entities, they don't like for people to rest. They don't like peace at all. They do not like peace whatsoever. So it's almost like you have to like be actively hunting these demons. Like you have to hunt them. When I say hunt them, I'm talking about pretty much spiritually. It's this show that this lady was talking about, and the show was called Hero. Not Hero. The show was called Reacher. Okay? The show is called Reacher. And the lady was explaining to me that it's about a guy who goes around and tries to catch the bad guys. Like he's like a MURDERER, right? A red rummer, okay? But he gets the bad guys, okay? Well, I'm not saying physically go and do anything to anybody else. I'm not saying do anything like that. But what I am saying that it is a spiritual warfare, and it's not going to end just because you choose to look the other way. Because they're actively, constantly trying to pursue you to the point where it's just time to hate what is evil, right? It's time to hate what is evil. They need the same way they want to pursue, the same way these these miserable energies want to pursue other people and disturb their peace. Maybe people need to pursue those energies in a way to make sure they don't exist anymore, right? To make sure that energy just is not going to be a problem anymore. Okay. But anyway, that is it. I have to go, and I will talk later.